The Sierra Grande trim will go right back in here. Oh, are you kidding me? You put your leg through it, you dingus. Are you hurt? Second thing I know about North Florida, they are really proud and competitive about their belly buttons. Everywhere we drove, best red navel, finest red navel, juiciest red navel.
I think if I had a juicy red navel, I wouldn't advertise it.
Yeah, probably true. Probably true. You guys in North Florida, you're a unique breed up there.
This week on Crossthread Garage,
A channel dedicated to me teaching my 14-year-old daughter how to work on old trucks like the 81 C-10 that we're reviving. This week we're coming back from spring break vacation and just diving into the interior. We're going to replace door cards, put on a new dash pad, clean up the floor and the seat, and clean up the center console. Quit mimicking me. What are you, a parrot? Voiceless parrot, that's what you are.
voiceless.
No, with that you look like a penguin.
Penguin want a peacock or a...
Penguin want a peacock? Polly want a cracker? What?
peacock? What?
Come here. Welcome back to Crossthread Garage and Salvage. Caitlin, this week we are turning our attention finally from the interior, or from the exterior to the interior. So gently close that hood. I want you guys to look how nice and straight that hood is. There's not a kink in it anywhere. And if you know anything about square body Chevy hoods, there ought to be a kink in it right about here.
Hey guys, taco hood.
But there's not, because, as you just saw, this hood's hinges have been greased properly over the years. Who'd have thunk properly maintaining a vehicle in one little way would make my job easier? Caitlin, it's darker in here than the southbound end of a northbound mule. Why do you have your sunglasses on?
Because it's like my trademark now.
Oh, really? You get a few YouTube shorts with your sunglasses on, and all of a sudden it's time to change your look.
Yeah.
Please don't put your elbow through the vinyl seat. We're trying to fix it, not make it, well, worse. This week, Caitlin and I turn our attention to the interior of the C-10 after a week of vacation down in Florida and a little visit to the Freedom Factory. Spoiler alert, Cleetus wasn't home. We got all that for you this week on Crossthread Garage and Salvage. Don't go anywhere. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe too before you're done. So we're down here in Florida this week on vacation, and we're just down here doing some Florida man things. Thought we'd do the most Florida man thing we could do and find the Florida man himself. Stopped by the Freedom Factory today. Cleetus and his buddies aren't home, but the next door neighbors are having a little fun. Bradenton Motorsports Park is having a test and tune day here, so we thought we'd stop in to see what's going on. For an automotive YouTuber, visiting the Freedom Factory is like, for a baseball fan, it'd be like going to Cooperstown, New York. For a Baptist, it'd be like going to Lincolnsboro, Kentucky, which is, of course, where the first potluck dinner was held.
Unfortunately, every single word out of their mouths was a lie.
YouTubers like Cleetus McFarland are some of the inspiration for the things that we're doing, so we're down here close enough that it would have been stupid not to come by, so here we are, Freedom Factory. You're down there running 5-second passes.
I know, that guy was...
Well, Cleetus wasn't home, but we're traveling through northern Florida here, and when you're traveling home and you can take a 2-lane blacktop, you might as well do it, because when you do that, you find cool stuff like this, Caitlin. I don't know what year, 62, 63, maybe somebody can tell me in the comments. Belvedere, and probably same era Dodge wagon over here, but these things are sweet. Wouldn't that green wagon look awesome in our garage?
Yeah.
What's sticking out from behind that tree over there? Is that a Swinger RV? I was just telling Mom last night, when we get home, I want to find the nice Swinger Express RV. You believe that? That's a true fact I just made up. What is this, Caitlin? That's a Dodge Daytona, I know that. That's a high-performance street machine on 4-lug wheels. There's no badges on it, but this would be a 2-door Belvedere. You know, it's missing some lower quarters. I'm sure those could be found. Do it again, Caitlin. So now this is something you got to be aware of when you go to a tire shop. You take something like this to a tire shop, they're going to tell you, hey, you're going to want matching wheels on your steer tires, but obviously this truck has survived without that. Look at this Falcon over here, Caitlin. Mercury, got a Buick over here. Right here in North Florida, outside of Jacksonville, at Pecans Candies. You think it's pecans or pecans?
It's pecan.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I think pecan.
No. Get out of my family. Caramel or caramel? Not even a question. Nasty.
I love caramel.
Really?
Caramel candy? Oh man.
Are
Love
you
it.
telling me you said you like caramel pecan?
If I could have some pecans dipped in caramel, oh,
Ugh.
stop right there.
Pecan and caramel.
I'm done. Why don't you tell us in the comments what you think it's supposed to be?
How are they supposed to tell you? It's spelled the same way.
That's a good point. That's a very good point. This old Dodge, this is cool.
Obviously, we're kind.
I'm gonna get this old Ram Charger before we leave.
Enunciate on that A.
That's cool. Of course, the Bel Air here. I don't know how to tell what year these are. The trim on them should be an indication, but there's no trim on this. I think you can tell by looking at the taillights, but I'm not sure. I got one of these hanging in our garage. Hey Caitlin, since it's April and it's raining outside, I got a question for you. If April showers bring Mayflowers, what do Mayflowers bring? Pilgrims. Speaking of raining, we actually, as you know, took a week of vacation last week during the kids' spring break, which was the week of pollen season here in Ohio. Got up to 80 while we were gone. Nice blue skies, everything blossomed and leafed out while we were gone. So apparently we now know pollen season is the week between the winter rainy season and the spring rainy season here in Ohio, which is great. Just great. You're supposed to be cleaning, not letting the dog clean your face.
Taking a break.
There are no breaks in this business. All right, Caitlin, we're gonna see how this center console comes out of here. This center console obviously didn't come with this thing. What we've got here is a Hurst Indy shifter, which again is one of these like weird things about this truck. You got a $500 floor shifter kit that was put in this truck, and then the rest of it seems to have been ignored, except for little things like headers and aluminum intake and front and rear sway bars I discovered the other day that somehow missed my Anyways, what we're going to do is take that center console out. So I don't know how it comes out of there. It looks like it's screwed in from the side here with a couple of brackets here. But, yeah. Nope, not screwed in. Oh, it's two pieces. Well, Caitlin, we might just be better off taking that completely out of there and not putting it back. It's got a cup holder that's under the seat. You can't even use the cup holder. Here, take that out, put it on the workbench over there. If we're gonna do anything with it, we're gonna at least clean it up and paint it. Are you wearing 3 pairs of sunglasses now?
Yeah.
This is the look you're going for, huh?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Well, I guess. This piece, obviously out of a late model Chevy. This is like a hard ABS plastic. I don't know
It's clay.
what that is.
What is that?
This has been bondoed and glued together. These are 2 separate pieces, so
Broken here.
they took this from somewhere. Well, they didn't break it, they just chewed it out.
It's a lot of
Cut it
doo-doo.
up. All right. Let's get it cleaned up first and then make a decision about it, okay? Index. Ooh, quarter.
Ooh,
Oh, man.
penny. Put a lot of money in here.
Listen, for all of you out there who said, you're never going to make your money back on this truck. The profit has started.
And you
I
clean
can
this
already
up.
tell you this is a different one.
No, it's just green.
Nope, that's a Canadian.
Let me see. Let me see.
Gonna have to go all the way to Canada to spend that.
No, you can spend them here. You just can't.
Caitlin's got these pretty well cleaned up. So what we're gonna do is take this Chevy logo off of here. A couple of nuts I gotta remove here. We'll get it sanded down, painted black so it matches the rest of the interior we're doing. Beautiful thing is, if we polish it up and it looks like junk, we just don't have to put it back. It doesn't belong in that truck to begin with. I don't know where it came from. Maybe you know where it came from. Do you recognize this center console unit? If you do, call Crime Stoppers. No, that's not the right line. If you do recognize it, throw it in the comments. Let me know where it came from or where you think it came from. Pliers I grabbed were left outside by someone who will be unnamed, but you would know well. She's blonde, wears sunglasses often when she's inside. Perfect. Now I know why my dad always yelled at me when I was a kid about putting tools back where they belong. Put a little PB blaster in there. Let it work. Let her eat. Speaking of let her eat, that's where Caitlin is right now. She's inside, eating. Because for some reason she thinks fueling her body is more important than getting this truck finished. I don't know. Somebody tell me where I went wrong. Probably nowhere. She's a good kid. Welcome back. How was dinner?
Good. Hey,
What'd you have for dinner?
soup and Pez.
All right, we got to fill those holes, Caitlin. These holes here. I think what we're going to do is actually fill this whole area here in with a base coat of some Bondo putty. So You just like the way it smells. Put my cabinet here. Go down to my body filler and wood stain section. Those two things go well together. And little Bondo glazing putty and a knife. First Caitlin, we're gonna clean up these edges, chip everything out of there, sand it down and wipe it clean, and then we're gonna get some Bondo in there. So here we go. Time lapse time. Now we're just gonna wait for this to dry. So you see the depressions where it kind of settled into those low spots that we were filling. Once it hardens and dries there, then we can come back and continue filling that coat, but we don't want to build up everything. So we're just gonna let that build up. We'll come back, sand everything out flat, at least fair it out.
Is this gonna be like?
No, we're just smoothing out this. This is kind of like an alligator peel inside here for some reason, just right there. We're just smoothing it out so it's as smooth as the rest of this.
Okay.
And then we're gonna paint it black, like the rest of the interior. Actually, this, we could go ahead and start painting. While this is drying. Yep, we're just gonna paint the chrome. So, no.
Okay, done.
Now what you want to make sure you do when you're painting in the garage where you've got cars with nice paint jobs is just ignore the fact that you're probably going to get overspray on everything.
Wait.
Nope, just kidding. Our garage is so dusty that all the overspray will land on the dust and we'll just have to wash everything off to come off. Guys, I'm getting frustrated with my GoPro camera. It keeps turning itself off randomly and it's not the battery. And I'm not getting a message saying it overheated, which I understand some people get, but you just missed most of that first coat because the camera turned itself off, so sorry about that. I blame GoPro. If you're out there, GoPro, I blame you. All right, we're gonna let that set up, tack up a little bit. Here in about 2-3 minutes, we'll come back, give that a coat of paint. In the meantime, probably turn our attention back to glazing this center console piece. I may be dumb enough to spray paint a center console piece for an 81 GMC truck in the same garage as an original 62 Ford Fairlane with 35,000 miles on it. But I'm smart enough to not sand this piece that we glazed right next to the new paint on the other piece. I don't want to get dust in that new paint. So we're gonna do it over here in the garage. So let me show you how you're gonna do this. You take this piece, fold it square, tear it on the fold, turn it over, and I'm showing you, you're just gonna lightly crosshatch this. Crosshatch meaning you go in different directions so that you don't end up with spots where your fingers were pushing harder than the rest of the paper. And you're just gonna sand that back until it feels smooth. See that?
Yeah.
Start here on the edges, and then we'll get into the center here where we had to load it up. So we're sanding back almost so that it's gone, because all we want to do is fill the depressions where the holes were. We don't want to build up the surface. So got a little bit more sanding here because these holes were bigger and we got more product on up here, so I'm using a heavier grit sandpaper now. So Driving home from Florida, I learned two things about North Florida. What are you doing with that broom?
Put it down.
Yeah, you are. Two things we learned about North Florida. Number one, I-95 north from Jacksonville all the way up to Charlotte is basically like a big game of bumper cars. That is the most accident-prone highway I've ever seen in my life. And the ambulance chasers know it because every quarter mile there's a sign. Were you injured? We'll fight for you. I don't know how many times we got stopped behind traffic that was stopped because of an accident, but it was more than a dozen times. Second thing I know about North Florida, they are really proud and competitive about their belly buttons. Everywhere we drove, best red navel, finest red navel, juiciest red navel.
I think if I had a juicy red navel, I wouldn't advertise it.
Yeah, probably true. Probably true. You guys in North Florida, you're a unique breed up there. All right, I think we've got the last coat of Bondo on here. You can see where we added some more even after this, what I thought was going to be the final coat of paint. But you can see once we sanded back, there were still holes to fill here, some rough spots here. There was a big gouge coming through here, and ended up finding some little pockets to fill in there too. So I think we're good, and even if we're not, this is going to be the last time. So. Last coat going on. So Caitlin's going to take the retaining clip off of this. So what you're looking at in there is a window crankshaft that comes out. It's got a little groove around it, and there's a C-clip on the back of that handle. So the handle slides over it. There's a C-clip here that pinches down once it slides past that groove. So what she's doing is putting a little J-hook in the back, and she's going to lift up on that clip to pop the clip, and then the whole thing's going to come off. Maybe. So sometimes you got to use a little bit of extra motivation. So flathead screwdriver to turn that and get it away from the door card so you could see where your hook is. There, see? It's that simple. So you can see the retaining clip that we were talking about there, which I do not know why it was that difficult to get off of there. Never had that much difficulty. But your hook is supposed to be able to go straight down, underneath, pop. So the door card's going to come out, and then you're going to come up. It's got clips that are back here behind this. You gotta have to work it around the door latch too. So up, pull that front corner out. Okay. So it's up and then there you go. One door card off. anytime you're changing OEM parts, original equipment manufacturer parts, which is what this door card is, for aftermarket parts, which is what this door card is, this is just the cheapest one you can get on LMC truck. First thing you want to do is make sure that you've got everything you need. So this one, turn this around so the camera can see it. This is actually a door made for either electric or manual window operation. So hold that up there. And you can see right here, this square would be where you'd cut out if you had an electric window switch. This round one is where we're going to cut out for our manual crank. Okay, so what we're going to do, I always say okay so. I'm going to get a t-shirt made with a bowl of white cheese that just says okay so on it. That'll be in our new merch shop that doesn't exist. So what we're going to do is put a pilot hole in here. There's a center mark already, but it's a little dimple that actually protrudes this way, and it doesn't transfer to the other side. So we're using a very small drill bit, and if you're wondering why I'm using a Ryobi instead of something like a DeWalt or a Milwaukee, go back and look at like every other episode. I explain it every time. They're good stuff. They're just cheap. Hold that up. So I'm going to drill the pilot hole, and then we're going to use a hole saw, and Caitlin's going to cut the hole here. Saw do the work. Cool. Let's go ahead and do the other one while we're up here. Swap that bit out. Swap the bit out. So this is going to go in basically the reverse of how you see the other one come out. Right? The top lip has to go inside of that. There you go. See the black block? All right, now we put these white body clips. Wait. We put these white body clips in the back of that door panel, that door card already. So there's one somewhere in here, and there's one over there. So what you're gonna do, Caitlin, is you're gonna put your hand back here and see where that is. Here it is up top. And you're just gonna direct that into the hole before you push it in. Whoa.
Put it in.
Slam it on it. So now on the bottom, the threaded plastic pieces that these screws go into are adjustable. So what you're going to need to do is pull it away far enough to see where your hole's at, and then run your screw in each one. Probably want to start in the middle,
Yeah.
so you can still peel the back, the edges out.
It's like way down there.
Yeah. You see the white plastic?
Yeah, it's like really far down there.
Let me see. What do you mean really far down there?
It's right there.
Just tight. Don't torque on it. Just get it tight. That's all you have to do. While Caitlin is getting the other door card out on the driver's side, I'm going to go ahead and prep the dash for the new dash cover. Now, You can see what condition this is in. It actually had a carpeted dash pad over it, and it was glued on. There's glue all over this thing. But there's huge cracks in it, and these things are just breaking and brittle. And so we're going to replace the dash pad here with a cover on this. Now, for those of you who think you should probably just put a new dash pad on there, you know, hey, if you want to start paying for parts for us, you're welcome to do that. But for now, what we're going to do is put a cover on this from LMC truck. It's going to cover this whole thing, be nice and clean. The trim, the Sierra Grande trim will go right back in here. Are you kidding me? You put your leg through it, you dingus. Are you hurt? Jeez. Caitlin. Are you okay? I saw your leg come up over the hood from inside the cab. Your foot was up here.
I know.
Oh my stars. Take this child anywhere. So, new dash pad. What I'm going to do is take like an 80 grit sandpaper on this block. I'm going to sand all these high spots and cracks and all the glue off, and that way we can get that dash pad that's up on the hood there. We can get that set down on here nice and plumb and square, and not have to worry about any of this stuff creating a lump or a hump in the cover. So, and if you think we ought to put a different dash in, you know, just leave us a note in the comment about what you would do, because after this is already glued in and finished, I'd love to hear what you think. So you can see I wiped that side off with some mineral spirits on a rag. I'm gonna get the dash pad all cleaned up, all the dust and oil and anything that would keep our silicone RTV adhesive from sealing, and put this new pad on. That includes all the cracked junk from the previous dash, which is why we're covering it. Alright, we're going to dry fit this one more time before we put the silicone on it. Look good. Okay, so we're going to peel that off, run a bead of silicone around there. My alarm's going off. We're going to run a bead of silicone all the way around the edges. Whoa, 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 whoa. This corner goes underneath. You can't just pull it off. So take that out. Take it out. Put it on the hood. I'm going to bead of silicone around the edges here, and then I'm going to come in. I'm going to put a little bit on the dash in a few spots so that we make sure we got good coverage. Bring it out here to the hood. All right. We're using a silicone adhesive. We're going to run a bead all the way around the edge.
Squirrel!
All right, we've got the silicone glue on now. We're going to carefully just slide it into the back. Whoa, whoa, whoa. So don't crack anything or force anything. Slide it in there. And then down.
Oh, no, it's
that's it. New door cards in. We got the armrest pads and handles that need to be cleaned up and color changed. Those are good. New seat cover later. New dash pad cover is in, glued up. Looking good. New door card over there. Oh, we got to get the center console in, Caitlin.
Oh yeah.
Grab that center console.
Where's it?
It's over here. Put it over here. Go into the driver's side. All right, set that in there, Caitlin. We are painting the little brackets that we're holding it on here. Those aren't dry yet, so all the way around. There you go. We're just putting this in here just to see how it fits and looks. I would say that is a win. We've had a good week, although a short week. Came back from vacation down in Florida and beyond. Got to go by the Freedom Factory. Cleetus wasn't home, but you'll see that already. And stopped and saw some pretty sweet cars on the way home, didn't we? Yeah. Keep an eye out on the road. You never know what you're going to find. Came back home, and in basically 3 hours, maybe 4, we got the interior swapped out, new dash pad, new door cards, center console cleaned up and prepped and painted and put back in temporarily. And next week, we're on to suspension. We're gonna lower this baby. Drop her way down.
That's all, folks.
All right, clean this messy place up. Look at all the garbage laying around here. We're gonna have a cleanup day here. Anybody wants to join us, throw it in the comments. I'll shoot you an address. Nope, won't do that, just kidding. Yeah, once again, it's about 10 o'clock at night. School tomorrow, work tomorrow, root canal this morning. That was fun. And we're off.